Mr. Sham needs to sit on the green sofa, please. In 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, NMS. I hope we are audible. That's the first check. If you're audible, can the audience online, the 28 parents who've joined, can I get a thumbs up? Oh, fabulous. So we're good to go. It's definitely Power Breakfast with champions. So, breakfast of champions and for champions. And that's something that we are very excited, very eager to do for our students, for our families, and really make things easy for parents, put things in perspective. So, there's going to be a lot of takeaways today from a nutrition point of view, from and just helping you out, giving you ideas, and just getting you thinking on what really comes into the plate and how we make it palatable for the children in this day and age when there is so much of temptation and things to veer away from what could be nutritious and healthy. So, joining me today, we have some fabulous people, and some of them who we've handpicked from what we have seen as fantastic, consistent, good practices. So, with me, as joining me as parent champions are so this Ms. Jyotsna Pandey, and Ms. Jyotsna is parent of two children. One of them is with us in grade 2, Nivan. Ms. Jyotsna herself is a techie. She, has worked at TCS, Deloitte, a fabulous tech career. But, now she is a mom. She's, some of the things she told me blew my mind. She said there was nothing like biscuits or sugar in her son's diet until he was 2 years old. So you can see really her, how she endorses healthy living and healthy lifestyle. So there'll be more from Ms. Jyotsna in a bit. Dr. Gunjan, Dr. Gunjan Bansal is a practicing clinical pathologist, and she's got many hobbies. I follow her on Instagram. Dancing, I know, is her passion, but today we're going to see her cooking skills, her culinary skills. So welcome, Dr. Gunjan, and welcome, Ms. Jyotsna. And with us is Ms. Radhika Saval. Ms. Radhika is our perennial chair of perennials. She's here with us this morning. On the back end, you can see some more perennials. Our vice principal, of course. We have Ms. Shalini Fernandez and Ms. Shweta Chakrabarti. Both of them, they will bring you perspectives on how food really impinges on one's mental and physical health. There'll be lots of takeaways from a scientific point of view. And the master chef in the house, Mr. Preetham Shetty, our manager school operations. And this is really his setup of, from his hospitality industry background. So really, we're good to go. We're going to start with Dr. Gunjan on her table. So we will just move sideways to Dr. Gunjan's table. Is it okay? Hello? Can you hear me? Yeah. Just. Shall I start? Yeah, okay. So as I have, as today I'm thinking yeah. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Can we get a hand mic? Okay, we'll use a. Check. The mic on.
Check.
So I request Ms. Shweta and Ms. Shalini and Vice Principal to move to Ms. Gunjan's table. So Dr. Gunjan, what are you showing us today?
Yeah, today I'm going to make the mayonnaise, which is a homemade mayonnaise. And as we know, the mayonnaise which we get from outside, there is a lot of palm oil and lot of like bad stuff in that, and kids love it. So I try to make it homemade so that because and you can put it in everything like breads, paranthas, pizza, anything you can put it. So this is the best thing like we can make for kids. So today,
So what are the ingredients?
yeah. So I'm starting with the ingredients are paneer, soaked cashews, garlic, and the seasoning, and olive oil and lime juice. So
Right.
these are this is a very simple way,
Right.
like we can make it very easily at
Yeah.
home.
So I think the camera can focus here. And Ms. Shireen, can we have this spotlighted? Can we have this on spotlight and move the slide away so parents can see what's the ingredients here? In fact, we can, stop sharing the screen and have the video in spotlight. So we have from some fresh paneer, as you can see, we have cashews, garlic, and there's so many health benefits of garlic.
It's anti-inflammatory. It is very good for diabetes, and also like from the beginning, if the kids take it, so it's good. Like I try to put it in everything almost.
That is so right. And I think in terms of anti-inflammatory and preventing diabetic, there are so many natural Indian spices which really make the cut. Ginger is another one, anti-inflammatory, and it regulates sugars, it induces metabolism. So many fantastic things. I can add on to the conversation. This is not working. So
So I have taken paneer. So I have just crushed it. Now I will take soaked cashews, like 15 minutes before you can soak it, and I will add it few cashews to it. Now I will take garlic. We will chop it. Like 3, 4 cloves are enough.
okay.
Cashews are a huge source of good fats.
Yeah.
So it's a very valuable ingredient for the little ones and for the adults alike.
And parents, I think it's very important that we get children involved in their snacking. You know, it's important to, even when you're buying the groceries, to take the child around to help them to choose what is it that they want to take, what is it that they want to pack in their snack box. That way, they take ownership of their snack box. So this is something I encourage my grandchildren to do, that come and you choose and then you take responsibility and make sure that the snack box is emptied. So even while making this simple mayonnaise, simple yet very, very nutritious, you can involve the child. So he or she can cut the paneer, can add the cashew nuts, can know that it is garlic that is the important ingredient. So it just involves the child more.
So I think what ma'am has added here is olive oil,
Yeah.
and then there is
Lime, you know the uses of lemon, like it's vitamin C. It's very, very useful. Even I make cubes of this lemon and put it in water, mix it with that haldi, garlic. I make cubes and I have kept it in the fridge. And then whenever in the morning he wakes up, I put 1 cube and with water, I give it to him. So it's very good for increasing their immunity.
so even without one's knowledge, there's a consistent intake of vitamin C. Turmeric, of course, again, fantastic anti-inflammatory properties.
Yeah, now I'm adding black pepper. That is also a very good alternative. Kids doesn't like it, the red chili, like, so I have added black pepper.
Right.
Okay. So now we will just blend it. Yeah.
So can we get the
So we
So while Dr. Gunjan is getting this blended and gets the mayonnaise, there is a slide that she's put together which talks about, and there's a wonderful slide which I'd like Ms. Shireen to share. Which talks about strategies for healthy cooking. And this is something that Dr. Gunjan mentioned that there was a catch-up video which she showed her son about, I mean, probably this was not the Heinz kind of ketchup. It was one of those regular off-the-shelf ketchup. And I think it wasn't really, something that her son loved. And after that, I think this whole ketchup craze stopped. Because ketchup is not just tomato puree. It comes with a lot of preservatives, and it has its own, health issues coming with it. So ketchup, as tasty and as that tingling as the taste buds it sounds, or it tastes, can have its own drawbacks. So the slide indicates that. I think you can see that on the slide. Can we have the slide projected? And well, you can see even as she is making, presentation definitely matters, using healthy ingredients, mindful eating. And we'll talk about mindful eating in a bit. And from there, we'll move on to our next chef in the house while the mayonnaise is getting ready. And that is Miss Jyotsna. So Miss Jyotsna, I'll have her introduce what she is making today.
I am going to make white sauce pasta today. There is a lot of things that you can add to this white sauce pasta without buying the white sauce from the store. So it's so easy, and I am surprised that they're still selling pasta sauce, pre-made pasta sauce in the stores with a number of preservatives added, and we think that this is good because my child is going to like it. You'll realize that it is so easy to make it with just basic ingredients, and you can add all that veggies that you want, steam that, puree it, and put it in, and it's loaded with lots of health.
Great. So let's see the magic pasta sauce. So do you make pasta or have pasta? What are your comments on that while
I
Ms.
like
Jyotsna
the
gets
fact
started?
that Miss Jyotsna said, you puree all those veggies that you want the child to eat. So in that way, the child is consuming nutrition, yet is not averse to broccoli and carrot and whatever else you want to put into it. So we as parents, we need to look at clever ways in which we ensure that all kinds of nutrition is consumed by the child.
Well, there is a very interesting fact. Research shows that colors like white and green, they are neutral in increasing your appetite, while things like in red color, like red bell peppers or tomatoes. Like I use a lot of tomatoes when I'm making the red pasta sauce. So that that increases appetite. But the quite interesting part is that yellow color, the color of the food, it stimulates appetite. So there are different versions of colors also, and it has an impact on your mood because Harvard Medical School as well as the American Psychological Association, they have done a research and they have seen as simple as they have done a research on 30,000 women, and they have seen that an orange instead of an apple and every day will reduce the chances of anxiety and depression almost to 45%. And that's quite interesting because they took this research about a month. They had it for a month and they found out this interesting fact about it. So yes, colors do play with your moods and they have a lot of impact in your day-to-day life. Thank you.
I agree, Ms. Shweta. And one important thing I like about this recipe is that in addition to adding all those colorful things, where you're getting the child to eat a lot of micronutrients, which are very important because we only talk of the main food groups, the main four food groups. But then what about all the nutrients that are there in terms of, magnesium? And there are so many micronutrients.
Omega-3.
Yeah. So when you look at this pasta dish itself, it has carbohydrates, it has the fibers of all that is going in there, and it has, it has cheese, which is very important for our children. So, it's a wholesome dish, I should say. Yes. Miss Jyotsna is all set for her magic recipe. The garlic has gone in.
Yes, so we start with olive oil. Olive oil is very good for health. Then we add garlic, as Ms. Gunjan has already mentioned how garlic is beneficial. There's a lot of antioxidants in garlic that will help your kids sustain a good health, and it increases immunity, as all of us want. And we're like, always worried about kids falling sick, and then because these are the years they're exposed, but what helps them fight is these ingredients that we're going to put in our food.
I so agree, and I can't emphasize enough the importance of adding these herbs in our meals. So oftentimes, not as often maybe, but I definitely do see students in our school who carry pasta to school, but all that the pasta has is white sauce. I don't see any pepper. Maybe there is salt, and it's absolutely insipid. So just the pasta sauce, whether it's either it's bechamel or it is tomato sauce, but I don't think it has all the nutrients we are talking about. So just layering it with garlic, crushed garlic, and it's so simple to crush garlic and put in garlic. It's not only flavorsome, but immediately brings in so much of nutrition value. And added to that is oregano. Even oregano has so many anti-inflammatory properties, and it's a wonderful herb to use. So is rosemary. But so ma'am is adding to this.
So also, one of the things that you can actually note over here is that I'm going to add fresh cream. The fresh cream is going to make the base for the white sauce pasta. It's very creamy and your kids are going to love it. There's nothing that you're adding, no flour, nothing is needed to make this. It's very easy. And if you're fighting for time in the mornings, this is going to be your savior. You just have to boil your pasta, keep it ready in the night, and in the mornings, just take it out from the fridge, toss it into this, and you are good to go.
Right.
And I think planning for the meal is so important. So even if you work out an entire plan for the 5 days of the week, this is what the child is going to take, and you ensure that what you need is available in the fridge or at home, it makes your life much easier. So actually writing it down, Monday it's going to be this, Tuesday if he's bringing 2 snacks to school, then what are the 2 snacks that he's going to carry? What are the ingredients that I need? Are they easily available? Else, in the morning, we are scrambling around trying to put something together. So pre-planning for that snack box, involving the child, even showing the snack box to the child before he or she leaves and tell him, today I packed lime rice for you. I have packed some pasta for you. Ensure that it is eaten and let him take accountability. I think that's very, very important.
As has already pointed out, that we can actually add veggies to it. If you have younger kids who are picky about seeing vegetables in their lunch boxes, you can steam them, puree them. I've tried with almost all vegetables out of my lunch boxes. It all gets finished every single time. Also, one more important thing that can be done over here is to, add a part of protein into your food kids' diet. Adding protein into your kids' plate is going to, keep them fuller for a longer duration, as well as at the same time, it is going to reduce those hunger pangs, because when you have lots of carbs, it gives you instant sugar spike, and that sugar spike immediately within half an hour or an hour will go for a sugar crash as well. That is the sugar crash. You will see your kids whining or having huge meltdowns because they are hungry, and we feel now they want a junk. Of course they would ask for a junk because things like biscuits and chips are made in such a way that they'll again give you that instant sugar spike and your kids are happy back again. But that's not what we want. We want them to be sustaining over good health and not falling for these packaged foods or sugar treats that we call them. I personally feel that should not be anything that should be called as a treat which you have to buy from outside. If you really want to go give a treat to your child, please go ahead, make a simple halwa. See, I'm talking from an Indian household. Make a simple halwa or anything. If nothing, make your, have you tasted sweet potato? Sweet potato itself is something which is so sweet that you do not need to add sugar to it. So it comes out as something, as a very good snack. Kids love it. You roast it, you boil it, and they're going to love it. So there are options at your home, in your kitchen. You just have to try them out.
That is so
You can
true.
also try dates and walnuts and cashew nuts.
Absolutely.
You can make laddus out of it.
Absolutely.
A power pack snack.
Would
I
you like me
so
to put
agree
in,
with-
pasta seasoning to
Yes,
this?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So agree with what Miss Jyotsna just said. How children, sometimes they throw tantrums.
seasoning.
They are not able to explain that they are hungry. And their way of expressing that is by throwing a tantrum. So if we ensure that their snack is nutritious, is something that keeps them full for a longer period of time, we'll see less tantrums around.
Perfect.
How's it, Spartan?
It's perfect.
Wow.
Actually, it's just so simple, and it's really fantastic.
Thank you. Fantastic. I'm sure parents have greatly benefited from that quick snack.
And
Nutritious and filling too.
yeah, I mean, since we spoke about fiber and protein, I think the order that we have to follow is first have fiber, and then protein, then comes starch, and the last of it is sugar. So I think Indian meals really does it best. So you start usually with a fruit juice, so which has fiber. So whether it is, kiwis, especially avocado. Avocado is so good with protein as well. So you have fiber, you have protein, and that should be the order in which you have to eat your meals, and then comes in starch, and the last of all sugar, so that you don't have that sugar spike right at the start. And what adds to fiber, the role of fruits and vegetables is so discounted by all of that, the big pharma and all the supplements that we take. The role of fruits and vegetables is so diluted in the current scenario, because for everything there's a supplement. You have a magnesium supplement, zinc supplement, vitamin D, C, E, and whatnot. So even for retinol, even for vitamin A. Whereas for all of these, the alternatives is, for retinol, it is carrots. Like ma'am said, you make the regular carrot halwa, just grated carrots, fresh, and then with a little bit of the sugar, the cardamom, and the fresh milk, and your halwa is ready. Well, it takes a little longer, but it's such a healthy and nutritious dessert to feed the kids. And kiwis, I think one kiwi a day can, it actually, kiwis beat apples when it comes to vitamin C. And you want to add to it?
Yeah, what ma'am had said, involve the kid. So it's like that. Like my son Ayansh, he can also make that mayonnaise. It's like that he also makes sometime. And also what ma'am has said, and in my presentation also I have said that presentation is very important. So what I do, I will give them chocolate, but it is not chocolate only. It is it is stuffed with flax seeds, pumpkin seeds, dates, anything like that, and I just cover it with chocolate. So that recipe also, and that is very popular among my kids. So the Jyotsna made wonderful pasta. So I have added beetroot also to it. Sometime I have tried it, and kids loved it, and
It becomes pink pasta, right?
Yeah, pink pasta.
That color that is added. So it goes to the pumpkin pasta because it becomes orange or yellow, and you're like, my son is very happy eating fruits.
Yeah, yeah. And I try to add vegetables to each and every, like I make pancakes, I make like poha, anything I make, I try to add vegetables as much as I can. Like,
Even parathas
yeah.
work well. Parathas
Yeah.
work well because you can have these spinach, which they are fussy eaters, so they won't eat. So you can just, grind them, make a paste and just, work on that and stuff it. Beetroot, of course,
Yeah.
beetroot parathas, carrot parathas also. So it's very, like kind of something which they would eat without knowing that it's added in that.
Basically, what we are talking about is it's not just about the child's food. We are talking about the child's self-regulation, ability to pay attention. Everything comes from a healthy gut, and healthy food creates a healthy gut.
So, yeah, we're going to move to the next station and continue the conversation here. So here we have Mr. Preetham. He is ready. You're making the omelet of champions for the champions.
And what is important is the message that we are conveying parents,
Yeah.
that it's not just the mother's business to get the snack box going. We have some fathers seated here, and I'm sure some fathers online. So do get involved in packing that snack, or at least in planning the snack
Yeah.
for your child.
You know, I am so impressed with the parents, the dads who have come today to support the wives, and or the wives supporting the dads. But either way, taking care of the little ones, and I think they need a shout out. Accompanying Miss Jyotsna is a husband with a little one. We can see another dad there, really managing the baby
With
like
a
a pro,
1-month-old, 2-month-old baby.
like a
Fantastic.
pro. It's really fabulous to see this partnership. So keep it going, parents. So, Mr. Preetham, over to you. So, okay, you're going to get that omelette up and running. I want to show you, parents, and I'd like, if parents can join us here. Ms. Shalini can. Ms. Shalini thinks she only has to support Mr. Preetham. Well, he's good on his own. I think I can get some support. So I am going to talk to you about the importance of fermented foods and the role it has on gut health. I was reading this book, Glucose Goddess. In fact, that's a book recommendation for you, Glucose Goddess. And there are so many tips and so many perspectives on not just the the pecking order of how we need to consume our foods, but the role of sugar and the role of probiotics. So today I've got idlis, and I'm going to show you some hacks with idlis. Idlis is something that children will love because it has that, and that fermented taste, it just tingles your taste buds immediately. And what can you do with idlis? I've seen mostly parents pack idlis and then there's the chutneys in a bowl. But kids are not able to dip it. And the whole. So what I would do for my kids is I always made it like a sandwich. Just open up the idlis. We got some mushrooms, sauteed mushrooms, just salt and pepper, nothing fancy. And but the packaging is what I thought was important. So we have the foil on that other table, but I could do it with a foil here. So don't ever always just put anything in the box as such. It is so important how we package the idlis, and I would always recommend even if it's a wrap, don't use one layer of packaging. Always use one half of the packaging this way and the other half on top. So it's two layers of packaging, and that helps the child. It's so easy to open when you're eating it in class. This is so easy to have. And I think when you're doing wraps or the idlis, the packaging really helps, and it kind of encourages the child to eat without being messy. But the role of fermented foods in gut health, the microbiotics, you want to talk and expand on, that what we were talking yesterday?
The gut microbiome is cultivated only when children eat this kind of nutritious food, especially the fermented foods like idli, yogurt, some of them who eat kimchi. All that is very good for gut health. The reason being, scientists have found that there is a huge connection between the gut and the brain. So whatever they say, you are what your gut is now. So what happens to the children is, with a healthy gut, they produce a lot of serotonin, dopamine, which keeps them happy, which keeps them alert. Because the minute you give children junk food, it may be one meal of junk a day, but it has a huge impact. Because what junk food does is it diminishes the presence of a healthy gut microbial system. So what we are doing by giving into that child's tantrums is that we are just diminishing the child's gut microbe. Because now in my field of work, I see, when I get into work classrooms, I see there are so many children who can't sit still. There are so many children who have problems focusing. It's not always the
And I
screen.
think that's increasing by
Yes.
the day
Yes.
because of the, maybe, the
It
very
could be the
mindless
screen.
eating,
Yeah.
mindless eating of processed foods. Like the chicken nuggets off the shelf. No, what goes into making chicken nuggets, giving that longevity of shelf life. I mean, it doesn't require rocket science to figure that out. But while I've gotten that idli wrap going, I have the sandwich. It's just if suppose you don't have the idlis, just brown bread, a layer of butter. I put in the same mushroom, and I am going to just toast it. Very simple. And I like to give this toasted bread because a little bit of toasted bread increases the starch content. So and just toast it, it just packs in the nutrients. And I can't emphasize enough the role of mushrooms high on fiber. You want to talk about it?
Yeah, mushroom is high on fiber. It is, hello. Yeah, it's high on fiber and it's high on protein. So what ma'am had done, like it's a very good supplement for protein. Like we are vegetarians, so we eat mushroom. So like it is very good. It can go with rice. It can go with like paranthas, anything you can stuff anywhere. This idli combination is like amazing, which I have seen for first time. When the presentation which ma'am was talking about, yeah, the presentation matters. That's why I'm saying like even my kid has complained many times like how you are giving me, and ma'am had shown it a very unique way, like how to wrap it up and like
I think I've always believed in the
Yeah.
power of wrapping.
Yeah.
Because as my children grew up, they wanted food when they, till senior middle school was fine. I whatever I would send, they would bring back an empty tiffin box. But by senior school, it was like, oh, I can't open this because the food smells. Now, which Indian food
Doesn't smell, yeah.
do we have which doesn't smell? So I understood the gift of wrapping food stuff. And so it was just a very simple hack, but it worked. So with the idlis, we made, just within 2 minutes, we got the mushroom stuffed idlis, and then we got the toast going on here over here. It's already done. It's fantastic. I mean, it is like a very packed, sealed mushroom toast. And over here, we have some pre-made mutton keema. This is just mutton with green peas. And I'm going to do the same thing, a little filling and then toast it. And I mean, who will stop? Who will not want to have it and relish it? With the amount of stuff that's going on in school, children are hungry. I see hungry children all the time, but they need to have the right things to eat. You wanted to say something?
I so agree about the packaging and the presentation, because children feel embarrassed. They feel ashamed sometimes to open their tiffin box because one thing is messed up and the other is flowing into the other. So very important, parents, you are putting your heart and your effort into making that food. Do that last bit of ensuring it is presented in a way where the child can handle it comfortably. So that thought is also very, very
Ma'am,
important.
I'd like to actually add here that Miss Martin got to know this because she spoke to her kids. What is the issue?
Yeah.
It's very important to communicate with your child about what is going on. If your child is coming back with the lunchbox, you have to ask them that what is the problem. You have to connect to the child and know that what was the thing that did not go down well. And once you know that, you can crack it. Because at times my son, he was in KG2 and he used to tell me, I could not eat paratha because paratha was cold. So I thought once. Second day, then I thought, let us go by what the child is saying, and it really was cold. I don't like to eat cold food in a steel box. So instead, what I did, it was I took a thermos, the flask that comes, right, the lunch box which is insulated, and the child started eating the next day onwards. So you have to understand what the child expects from you and present the same food in a way that the child can understand and eat better.
Absolutely. Sometimes it's just cutting a sandwich the way it looks presentable to the child, or the fruit. For example, does the child want it, lengthwise? Does he want it is as a cube? Does he require a little fork with which he can pierce the fruit and put it into his mouth? Those considerations are also equally important. So here's Mr. Preetham, very busy. He's just flipped 3 omelets. I don't know whether you watched him while we were talking at the other table. And right now he's placed some tomato pieces on the omelet together with cheese.
And this is mushroom.
Looks really appetizing. That's why you need to get fathers involved in the process. Here goes some iceberg lettuce.
That I don't eat egg, but whoever eats egg, my God, look at that.
Watch that wrapping.
So that's how presentation matters. Actually, one parent told me that what we eat outside, because kids
Yeah.
like eating outside because there is a very good presentation. So if the same thing happens at home, they will be too much interested.
Yeah.
Like for the homemade food also.
I love that four-fold, the tortilla wrap. Fantastic.
I think this is something which is very popular among kids. So I have my daughter in grade 10, and till date, she likes things which you get to see in the market and which you get in the food joints. So I usually prepare that. Till date, when I have stuffed parathas, I cut them in pizza shapes
Yeah.
so that, it's quick and they enjoy while
Enjoy,
having it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
Presentation is must.
Yeah, same with
definitely.
fruits. Like I give her in star shapes and the fancy forks like
Yeah.
that.
Or even
She loves
sandwiches cut in
sandwiches,
star
yeah.
shapes. Yeah.
Even I make waffles, like with
Yeah.
the pancake batter, I make waffles. So they love to eat it.
And pancakes can be made with so many
So
different
many
Yeah.
ingredients.
And I want to focus on the packaging of the tortilla wrap. So Preetham's made a fantastic triangle. Wow, look at that. Now, who's going to bring a slice of wrap back unfinished? Perfect. Perfect. I mean, I don't eat egg, Preetham, but this looks very appetizing.
Fantastic.
See, we got the right man on the show.
Yeah, that's brilliant. So let me pass this on to our audience who is seated there. So I think, we've really, is it 9 o'clock? We got 15 minutes. We got 15 minutes. That's fantastic. We want to go back to the eggless mayonnaise. Dr. Gunjan, how has that come along?
Even I think, Mr. Preetham, the color itself, green, then we have red
Please.
and white will stimulate your appetite, definitely.
Share it, share it.
You can take it to the parents.
Oh, the mayonnaise has come along quite good. So should I toast it?
Yeah. If we blend it in the like
Yeah.
mixie jar, it will become smooth paste.
Yeah.
And you can do variation to it. You can add beetroot.
Yes.
You can add apricot. Anything you can add.
Yeah.
Like
I have a reservation with mayonnaise off the shelf because it has egg.
yeah.
But this one, I like the whole creamy texture, the garlic, the
Yeah.
cashew,
and the paneer.
and the
Paneer.
paneer.
Paneer is
I'm
the
really
protein.
going to test. I'm just going to toast it.
Yeah.
And this is going to be on my plate today. That's fantastic. Preetham's got also, even the regular, the pav with a little bit of keema. And substitute for keema is paneer, which works very well. But what's important for this is the wrap. It's very important that we wrap this stuff, in a way that the children can pick it out and eat fast. Preetham, are you on to some other dish? You have? Okay. So let's see how the toast is coming along. Wow, that's looking really good. I'm going to.
You can add avocado on
Yeah.
it. You can add egg also if you want. Like yesterday night also we had avocado sandwich with this.
Mhm.
So this is a completely vegetarian dish.
Try. Try for you. I just want to try how this is with all the creamy texture and stuff. Hmm. Really good. Really good. So, are there questions from parents? Nothing so far. So, oh, is there a request for Mr. Preetham's recipe? Oh my goodness, we are going to send that right away. I think let's just shoot that bit, where Preetham making this, and we'll put it up on our Instagram. So we'll just do a special Preetham special on Instagram. Yeah. What about the audience? Any suggestions? Anything you want to add since you are here on site? Anybody? Let's flip the camera to our audience.
So everything, whatever everybody showed, amazing dishes. Eggless mayonnaise was the top-notch thing. I typically try to give a lot of protein to my kid in his lunch box. So for say idli, I substitute with ragi or bajra. For dosas, I use the same thing, and then I put a lot of veggies in it. I just grate the veggies and a very little of flour and a lot of grated veggies, and I made uttapam like that. Or I make appam the similar way with a lot of veggies. Idlis, as ma'am said, presentation is important.
No, just
So in idli, I probably put the corns on the side and two olives in the between, so it becomes a smiley face. Idli, kids are interested in eating that kind of thing. Fruits I add blueberries or strawberries in the lunch box. I make ragi cupcakes, ragi with jaggery. So amazing combination. Iron, both iron rich food. Also, it has yogurt. So it is filling as well as yummy. And the tiffin never comes back full. It is always empty. So those are some of the things that I personally like to do. The sauce thing, even I don't connect with that. Giving sauce to kids every day, ketchup is not a healthy option. So I go with green chutney or maybe the tamarind and date chutney. Yeah. So those are the things that I do.
So we have questions from parents. One of the questions is about semolina pasta, or is it whole wheat? I would always go with whole wheat. And we get some fantastic options, in the market today. So, I mean, it's been a while since I gave up anything which is refined or white, including bread.
Right.
Though, there is a fad for, like when it is a chili cheese toast, and they say, "Oh, you have to have white," but I don't know. It's not for me. So. I think you all agree to that. It has to be brown for all good reasons, right? In the long run.
Multigrain is tasty as well.
Yes, absolutely. And I think now the whole meal breads are absolutely as tasty. And the other one is about, doesn't the avocado oxidize and make the sandwich wet? Yeah, that is for sure. So I would not really put an avocado for something that is to be packed. That's when you're eating it in the weekend, etc. You need to make sure that the food that you send is not soggy. And whatever we showed you today are those ones which will not get soggy. That is why even with the bread, the moment you put it into the moment you toast it, it takes away that moisture content and it removes that sogginess. So it just stays fresh for at least 3-4 hours till they have their snacks. But for lunch, it is always important to choose foods which are not soggy. Um,
Ma'am, for the pastas in market, chickpea pastas are also available. I'm not too sure if everybody's aware of it, but they taste
you just switch on your microphone.
But there are people who gluten intolerant.
chickpea pastas are available in the market, which tastes equally. I mean, in fact, after putting the dressing and all, you're not able to make the difference between the white flour pasta and chickpea pastas. Those
Chickpea
are
pastas. Talking about chickpeas and hummus, I think an easy, even for dinner, sometimes the temptation is, you're so tired back from work. What do we eat? And you want a light meal. Okay, let's just order a pizza, like it's light. Instead, a very simple alternative is to get, but you have so many options of from protein pita breads to, brown pita breads, a layer of hummus. Cucumber has magical properties because it's one of the most I think the best detox vegetables around. And I think children should be at their age eating a carrot and a cucumber every day. Carrot for retinol and for cucumber for because it's a beautiful detox vegetable. And just with a layer of hummus and some pickles because it brings up the probiotics, like pickles as in pickled olives to pickled vegetables, and you get plenty of it from all of the Lulus to all of the Carrefours. There's so much options available for parents. Any quick energy drink suggestion to beat summer heat? And I would say again, when it comes to energy, yes.
Yeah, I have one option. Ma'am had mentioned about detox. So what I do, I have brought a jar and I have put cucumber, beetroot, and pudina and like ginger, everything in that. And my kid loves to drink that. So it's like a detox also. It's like a healthy drink also. Like it's a refreshing drink for the summers. Like and I add ice also, so he loves to drink it. So that's the kind of thing I do every day.
Talking about energy drinks, my suggestion is, and this is what I would do, is just get your regular bottles, and put in the chia seeds, or you could put in basil seeds. Just soak it overnight in the morning, fill it up with water, and add whatever of, juice of fresh fruit juice of your choice. It could be fresh orange, it could be, or just lemon, or it could be kiwi. And the children could just sip it along during the day. It easily stays unrefrigerated, for for use for that next day morning. So energy drinks, definitely please don't pick up anything out of the shelf because it has its own drawbacks. So I would always go with something that I know what are the ingredients in that energy drink. Have I answered all of the questions? Have we answered all of the questions?
Miss Martin, brings me
What do you prefer for children to eat at night? So what is preferences, food preferences for children to eat at night?
Something which is light enough, like, some like rotis, chapatis, and
I would
vegetables.
say something which has good starch, because starch is something, that the children need before they're going to bed a little bit, because it'll make you feel a little heavy, a little drowsy, and puts you off to sleep.
But no
healthy
sugars.
stuff. Yeah,
No
no
sugar.
sugar.
No.
This is like good carbs that we are talking about. Could be quinoa rich. It could be, even regular chapatis. And I think the Indian meal really defines it, where you
We
have,
have lentils.
rice in the afternoon and two rotis in the night with, it could be with lentils, it could be with kidney beans, or it could be with, the chole or the chana, or some veggies. And never discount the the benefits of veggies, especially in our Indian cuisine. And there's so many veggies which are just so easy to cook, stir fried, like ladies fingers. Ladies finger is like goes with everything, like all of these wraps that we made, with could be made with ladies finger. You could have ladies finger stuffing and everything, and a hungry child will love ladies finger. It's in even and including in the night. One of my go-to meals was with yogurt, and Dubai is flooded with such fantastic dairy stuff, and especially yogurt. You have a choice. So it's just a little rice, but with yogurt, some fried cashews, and a little bit of bindi. It's just an amazing dish. It's wholesome, and the child, switches off like a light bulb because it is so healthy, and it just gives you the and I think that kind of power nap that happens after that, that right amount of carbs, it completely revitalizes the child for the next day morning. And please read about it. This option of power nap after a good carb meal, it really is rejuvenating. So I think we've answered all of the questions. There's a hack. Cut apples can be put in a bowl with little water and pinch of salt for 3 to 4 minutes, and then remove, dabbed with tissues, packed, so the apples don't change the color or get soggy. That's fabulous. And thank you, parents, for that. It works.
I haven't
Right.
tried that, but I have another thing. Like I cut the apples and I, wipe it with the tissues, dabbed up a little bit, and it works well.
Right.
So it can
Yeah.
if you pack it in the morning, it will survive till around
Yeah.
12, 11
Yeah.
o'clock.
That for all the grapes and berries and all, if you dip them in water with a pinch of salt, it removes almost all the minute impurities as well as little insects as well, which are
True.
there on it. So
Yeah.
only 5 minutes of it. It works well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so with berries and strawberries, they're very high in pesticide. I think they sprayed and loaded with pesticide. And the only way to clean them is to add a little bit of baking soda and let them soak in, have a nice bath, and then take them out
Yeah.
and give to your
Yeah.
kid. Because kids love berries.
Absolutely. Another thing that I used to pack for my kids, along with water was a smoothie. And these smoothies, you have dime a dozen options. Sometimes it could be watermelon. Now it is mango season. So watermelon, a little bit of mangoes, some almonds, soaked almonds, and dates. And just whip them up, maybe add in a little bit of milk, and it's good to go. It stays at least for 5 to 6 hours if you pack in a airtight bottle, and it just stays. So it's a very good supplement along with everything else that the child is eating. You can add in a banana even to that. It just makes it the potassium content goes up.
A parent had asked somewhere that they want a recommendation for a food flask that will keep the food warm. So I use Bergner flask. If you find it in the market, it's very nice. It keeps so hot that once I gave it to my son the food, and then he did not finish it. He came back saying it was as hot as you packed. So it was steaming hot. I thought that some heat will get dissipated, but it did not. So it's a good product. Now I learned my lesson to make it slightly warm and then pack it because it remains that way.
What's the name? Repeat the name again.
It's Bergner.
Bergner flask.
Thermos and
Thermos
Lincoln
also
are
has it.
equally good.
Thermos also has it.
See, and
Yeah.
the good thing about NMS is, the kids really have their meal time. Now we've introduced two breaks.
I want to say thank you for that.
The
We are loving
parents,
it.
we really see, we could not just say yes in the past because we didn't have that flexibility in the timetable, but now it's very mindfully done. So we're happy that children have two breaks. And when children bring in the boxes, they are able to bring in the thermos, and it's all, it's, I think, a very smooth process, at least here in Dubai, for us at NMS. So parents don't hesitate to pack it in, but just remember, as they're getting older, the whole dynamics change. So that is where I think all these hacks on wrapping it, concealing it, they're not going to carry those big, thermos and the dabbas as, past 6th grade, 7th grade, we have challenges of their own. So easy hacks, they carry their snacks without even knowing that there's a snack in the box, and they like to eat it like, they all the ifs and buts, but can be easily dealt with a little bit of thinking and thought put into it. But I want to say today, what an enriching morning. Thank you so much, Dr. Gunjan. And we picked Dr. Gunjan and Ms. Jyotsna because we've seen their children carry consistently healthy stuff. And this was Ms. Shalini who picked both the children as she was going around, and she saw that the kids always bring healthy stuff. So let's call their parents on today as our expert panelists. So thank you for that.
Thank you for giving this opportunity.
Pleasure. And with Mr. Preetham, of course, I didn't even have to coax him into doing this. I just said, Preetham, would you? And he was like waiting for that invite. And you can see he's been a pro at it. So, yeah, and we are going to put in a separate video on Instagram with him, getting this. By the way, we're done. That I thought it was in the great. And Miss Christine, she has her cooking skills. Yesterday we were teasing her. She can turn water into charcoal.
Someone said charcoal into diamonds.
Yeah, from charcoal, of course, it gets into diamonds. But yeah, but thank you so much for being there as the wind beneath our wings. And then to our in-house experts, connecting nutrition and food to brain and everything that's surrounding the human physical self. That's Ms. Shweta Chakravarti, our well-being counselor, and Ms. Shalini Fernandez, our head of inclusion. They're always looking at the well-being of children from various perspectives. Last but not the least, our amazing audience taking time off to be here on site. It really means a lot. I think this is our first session where we've had such fantastic participation. So Thank you so much. And, looking forward to a fantastic day ahead. Thank you, everybody. How many parents joined in, Shireen?